Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, October 16th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good there. Looks good there. A few more things here. All right, looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks like we're good to go. I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and then I'll start market liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. All right, looks good. Solid. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, guys. As people start to join in, I'm going to go ahead and start market liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. So we got that right there, right there, there, right there, there, there. Oh, these over here, blue. It's good. Going down to the daily time frame. Going down to the 8-hour. Red. Going down to the 4-hour. So we got a ton of sitting liquidity over here. I mean, it's probably not going to get today, but as you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity just sitting around, just waiting to get hit. Going down to the 2-hour. Go to that red. Red. There. There. Going down to the 1-hour over here. $30-minute. $15-minute. Blue. Lastly, the 10-minute time frame. And I think we're good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, October 16th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So it looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So let's hear it's here. Morning, Marcin. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Maria. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Randy. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, looks like a good amount of you guys are here. People are still joining in, but we've marked up liquidity over here. So the closest level of liquidity down below is going to be over here. It's going to be about 70 points away, so 700 pips. So this is going to be the closest level of liquidity down below. And above, closest level of liquidity is going to be up here. So closest level above is 34,123. Closest level below is going to be 33,960. So those are going to be the closest levels of liquidity. Let's go back to our main chart over here. Let's check the calendar real quick. So we had news over here at 5:30, and we got more news at 7:30, medium impact. It's not really news, but the Fed's going to be speaking at 7:30. So we do have news over here at 5:30, which I'm going to mark up. 5:30, which was a little weird count right here. All right. So news right there. 1 second, guys. All right, so we got news over there at 5:30. We have more news coming up over here at 7:30. And that's pretty much it. So, all right, guys, market is going to open in about 2 minutes. See what happens here when the market opens. So we'll still be testing our momentum counter scalp, breakout V2, intraday scalp, and then of course our high-low scalp V2. So there's only two main strategies. If you guys are not familiar with the strategies we're applying, the two main strategies that we're applying are the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. Other than that, we're testing a couple other strategies: momentum pullback scalp, breakout V2, and intraday scalp to identify other entries that we should be applying, throughout the busier season. So we'll see. But anyways, the market's going to open in about 1 minute, guys. We currently have a sell signal here. So if we get two red candles after open here, it's going to be a sell for the breakout V2, and then vice versa. If we get a momentum signal for a buy, if we get two red candles after that, that's going to be a momentum counter scalp. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens. The volatility right now is extremely low. It's currently at 8 ATR. So it's very low. We'll see if this picks up and if market has a late reaction to the news from this morning. So, all right, guys, market is opening in about 20 seconds. So see what happens from now until then. See if price pushes up over here. Looks like we're gonna have a level up here. Price comes down. So we'll probably have a level down here. All right, so market is now open, guys. You guys can see this crazy candle right here. You want to be a little careful trading today because today's Monday. As you guys know, the riskier days to trade are going to be Monday and Friday. Monday because people are re-entering the market from the weekend. Friday because people are exiting the market for the weekend. As you guys can see right here, you can see a lot of orders just getting filled in, flooding into the market, and price pretty much spiking in both directions. So just wait a little bit for the market to stabilize. It will stabilize eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time until it does. So I would just sit tight and wait for this here to play out. So there goes opening price. I'm going to go over here to our clean chart. Mark up opening price right there as well. $6:30. 8 o'clock. Or I'll come back and mark up the clean chart a little later. So price is pushing up right here. Obviously I'm not going to take any of these entries here, but price is pushing up right here. The ATR is still it's pretty low. It's at 13 right now. But price is having a bit of a stride to the upside. So if this candle right here closes with a buy signal, if you get two green candles to follow it, that's going to be a buy for the breakout V2. If you get two red candles, that's going to be a sell for the momentum counter scalp. This is also going to be an intraday scalp entry. If you guys are looking to take it, the entry here is kind of big though. I mean, the candle is big, so I probably wouldn't take it, obviously. I think the cutoff is like 30 points. Yeah, if the momentum candle is over 300 pips, skip to the next entry. So obviously this one here clearly is bigger than 300 pips. So unfortunately, you guys can't take this for an intraday scalp. The candle is just way too big. So there's no entry here. If you get two red candles, that's going to be a momentum counter scalp for a sell. So just depending on what you guys are looking for to take here, there's two different entries that you guys can be looking for. If you're looking for the breakout V2, you'll be looking for 2 green candles. If you're looking for a sell, you're going to be looking for the momentum counter scalp. So I'll be looking for both here. I got two sort of set up right here right now. Let's take a look at the overall bias for today. So looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 56% or 55% short. So that's pretty much neutral for right now. Fundamentals right now are currently, they're up 200 points. Looking over here at the technicals are currently bullish. So I'll go and put the criteria over here. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment is currently neutral, 55% short. Fundamental bias is currently bullish, plus 200 points. Short-term technicals are currently bullish. Long-term technicals are currently bullish. So we have a bullish bias for today. Currently, retail sentiment's not super strong, but we do have a bullish bias here. So if you get 2 green candles, this could be a possible setup for a breakout V2. Maddie also mentioned over here that there's a high-low setup. Yeah, it's currently running right now. Actually, just got filled. I don't know if anybody decided to take it, but it's just too early in the session right now. So I'm going to hold off on taking that trade. I'll mark it up for you guys if you guys want to follow it, but I'm not in the position. So there's currently a high-low scalp V2 that is technically running right now. But again, like I mentioned, I'm not going to take any entries just yet. I'm going to wait for the market to kind of stabilize here a little bit. And then once it stabilizes, possibly look for entry there. It's just not a good time to take any trades because you can see the market is moving pretty crazy. If you look over here on opening price, market opened right here at 630, price spiked up super heavily, then it came back down, right? It's not a good time to really force any trades right now. And typically we have to wait for the market to stabilize anyways before we can take any of these entries. Yeah, exactly. Sisu said it's also Monday. We have the entire week and there's FOMC at 10:30. So guys, if the candle right here closes with a green candle, it's technically going to be the breakout V2. It's going to line up with the high-low scalp V2 right there as well. If anybody's looking to take, any partial move of that. I mean, if anybody wants to like squeeze in a quick move, it could be like a 100 pip move, if anything. If you just want to be on the safer side. So it looks like price is slightly pushing up from where it's currently at. The high-low scalp V2 is still running. This is going to be the breakout V2. If anybody's looking to take these here. There's just nothing else right now. So we have the, let's see, currently have the, there's not too much really going on right now, to be honest. Let's see if I can move this over. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing really coming up right now. Price is kind of going sideways. Let me see if I can mark up some structure over here. So we currently have a higher high right there. Currently have right there. So this is pretty much a structure at the moment. There's not really too much going on, but this is the current structure right now, specifically if you guys are looking at current price movement. So market open right here at the blue line, and then one of two things can happen. Price can either climb up, or price will probably climb back down to opening price, right? There's just no direction right now at the moment. The high-low scalp V2 is currently running right now, still in profit. Breakout V2 is currently climbing right now. See where this ends up climbing to. Just a lot of uncertainty right there as to the direction of price. So I had a little I had a little FOMO right here, guys. I got in for a quick 100 pips. I just got in real quick, got in and out right there. I'm not even count that trade. FOMO just kind of got a hold of me because I had so many confluences here. So like I mentioned earlier, I said if you guys wanted to get in, you can go in for a quick 100 pips, and that's exactly what I did. I waited for price kind of pull back right here for a little bit, got in for a discount, and just shot up, went straight to my TP for 100 pips right there. So I don't know if anybody else took it. I'm not going to count that trade, but FOMO just took control of me right there. You guys can see that I still get FOMO even though I'm like kind of warning everybody that it's risky. The only reason I felt really good about it was because the overall bias is bullish. We had an entry here for a breakout V2, high-low scalp V2. And I mean, that's pretty much it for the most part. But yeah, I just took it for a partial move, guys. It wasn't anything big. Now I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit and just wait for better confirmation here. Add a manual pull out of the position too, because I hate when I come back from a new week. MT4 is acts kind of funny sometimes. So I try to change my TP stop loss, and then I also try to change my lot size. I went back to like a small 0.01, but everything else closed on my other accounts. Nice. Ken said he took it for a partial. He got out because it's struggling to hit full TP. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. Nice. Dejan over here said his breakout V2 already hit. So it looks like Dejan got in a lot earlier. He probably got in for a discount, price pulled back. So nice work right there, Dejan. Dejan took the breakout V2. I mean, technically it's still running if you took the actual entry up here. It looks like Dejan might have entered down here for a discount. So the trade's still running. This is still running as well. As you guys can see, the ATR is not very, I mean, the ATR is decent. It's at 18, but it's not really moving very directional. So the high-low scalp V2 is still technically running right now. The breakout V2 is still technically running. And we'll come back to take a look at that in a few. Yeah, just looking over here at the clean chart. This is a clean chart. Price is bullish right now. But you can see it's having trouble getting past the resistance right here. But all right, let's keep waiting for this here to play through. Let's see, we got some profits over here from Dejan. Dejan locked in 1,010 today. So nice work right there, Dejan. Full TP on that trade. Took the breakout V2. It looks like he only took it for 100 pips, which is fine. Not a big deal, but yeah, he took it for a partial. That's how he got out so quick. So Dejan over here locked in. Full TP. We got Natasha here. She took the breakout as well for a partial TP. Total profit of 115 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. So she took that for a quick 100 pips as well. And then we have Kenny over here with a total profit of 2,630 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. All wins. So solid profit so far, guys, from you guys. There's not really much else going on. As you guys can see, the trades are still technically running right now. If this here closes with a red candle, this will technically be the momentum counter scalp. So if you guys are looking to take the counter scalp, that would be the counter scalp entry. You guys can see that these are kind of counter from each other. They're running counter. They're basically running opposite of each other. That's why I don't really like a counter scalp as much. The counter scalp is okay because it's only 100 pips, but I don't like it because sometimes it goes counter of the breakout. So the breakout will be going for a buy and the counter will be going for a sell. So there's two entries right here running. I'm just going to document whichever one hits first, and then we'll move on to the next one. So these aren't any official entries here. I'm not really looking to take any of these here at all. These are just for documentation purposes. So we'll stick to actually, we'll see if this here hits. If this here hits first, I'll just update. There we go. So the momentum counter scalp right there hit full TP. If you get anybody took that trade, I'm going to go ahead and document that. Entry happened right here at 6:41. Put that in our spreadsheet. $6:41. Today is October 16th. It was for a sell. It was a win, 100 pips. I don't think there's really much going on today, or let me see. I don't think there's any notes for us to take regarding that trade. I'll just say big spike on open, correction, back down. All right, so the momentum counter scalp just hit full TP if anybody took that trade. We're still following this trade over here. So the breakout V2 did not hit full TP, as you guys can see. And it doesn't really matter because we didn't take the trade. We're just documenting it. So I'm going to go and update the spreadsheet for that as well. Breakout V2 over here. So it's been a back and forth. Like month for the breakout V2, 635. $635 today is the 16th. It was for a buy. It was a loss, negative 250. Spike. Open. Heavy retracement down. Stop loss. All right, so the breakout V2, it's still above a 50% win rate. So if you guys took the breakout V2 from August up until now, you should still be in profit. A lot of these trades you would have avoided, like CPI news, PPI news, basically all the inflation news days you avoid. So like a lot of these trades would have been avoided. So the win rate should be a lot higher if you were to take that into consideration. The momentum counter scalp here is still up 70%, so it's still pretty decent. It's not the best strategy, but it's decent. Other than that, let's see. The high-low scalp V2 is still running. This trade you should have for sure hit a long time ago. So if you guys are still in this position, I'd recommend pulling out in profit whenever you guys can. This trade should not be running this long. You know, this is a scalp trade. I'm glad I pulled out for a partial profit earlier because this is not a trade that should have been held on to for this long. This trade's been running for about 13 minutes now. The longest you should be holding a scalp is like 5 to 10 minutes. Anything over 10, it becomes risky. You should just pull out for profit because it's no longer a scalp at that moment. You know, if that becomes the case and you're holding on to a position for more than 10 minutes, I would just pull out for profit as you can. Like for example, right here, I would pull out for profit right there and I just wait for the next entry because another entry will come up. Scalps they come up multiple times a day. The last thing you want to do is hold on to a position and then it gets all crazy, right? Because scalps aren't supposed to be held for that long. So other than that, that's pretty much it for the most part as we watch, you know, price continued along. So here you go, as price, you know, start to climb back up right here. Like the thing is, I have faith that it'll probably hit, but for me, like my type of trading style, I don't want to be in a position for too long, especially if I'm scalping. So I would pull out for a small profit and I would just wait for the next entry because another entry is going to come up. It's inevitable, right? And you just want to keep it quality. So what I'll do here is I'll take a screenshot of my profit for the day. As you guys know, I took a partial move earlier. So let's see, social trader tools. Log into this real quick. So the trade's running in profit. So if you guys want to pull out, I do recommend pulling out in profit if you guys are in it. That's just from my experience because this trade's been running for way too long. The ATR is still pretty low. It's currently at 18. It should be above 20, but you know, you got to deal with what you can get for now. So it's still currently running. Again, if you guys are still in this position, I would not hold on to it. I just pull out right now. You're like almost at TP. So, I mean, if you guys want to hold on to it, again, there it is full TP. So nice work if anybody held on to the position. Again, I didn't hold on to it. I didn't take it. I'll just add this to the spreadsheet. I'm not counting it as an official trade because obviously it happened like way too early in the session. Yeah, this entry happened right here at 633. Typically, I don't look for any entries until market stabilizes, like maybe around 645. So I just want to be transparent with you guys. I'm not going to save this, or I'm not going to count it as an official entry, because I did make profit on it, but it was too early in the session. So yeah, full TP right there. If anybody held on to it, if you guys held on to it, nice work. I couldn't even hold on to that position, and it's my strategy. It just was too long. So I'll put it over here real quick. Let's see. The entry happened at 633. I'm just putting in the spreadsheet over here. It happened way too early. Typically, these entries don't come until a lot later. But Maddie identified it. So thanks to Maddie over here. If you guys took that trade and made profit, you can thank Maddie for that, because Maddie identified it. And it did hit full CP right there. So nice work right there. I'll just put it right here so that you guys know where the profits came from, because I'm going to be posting my profits on it. So you guys, and it's only partial. I took a partial move on it. All right. So here are my profits so far. I took that trade right there just for 100 pips because I just didn't feel comfortable with the market direction, market movement. I think there's another high-low scalp that so there's another high-low scalp that's currently pending right now. Right there. I would probably be careful on this one, guys. I wouldn't take them back to back like it just came up right now. Taking them back to back is kind of dangerous, because this literally just hit TP. This one I'm probably going to sit out on. I'm not going to take this one right here. So yeah, if this comes back up, the entry is going to happen right there if anybody's looking to take it. But I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit. If it pulls back a little bit and then swings back up, then yeah, I'll take it. But right now, I'm not looking to take it at the moment. It's just not necessarily looking like a safe one for me specifically. Let me move this up a little closer. Actually, I'll leave this down here. All right. So here are my profits so far for the day, guys. There's no entries for us to take right now, so it's completely fine. But here are my profits for the day so far, for the day and the week, because this is my first trading day for the week. This is the only trade I took. So for my funded engineer account, locked in 700, my FTMO locked in 910, second FTO 910, third FTMO locked in 860. My fourth account locked in 820. Wait a minute. That's weird. Okay, locked in 820 on this one. This is my funded engineer number 2, locked in 345. This is my personal account locked in 285. My TFF account locked in 866, and my second TFF. I'm kind of confused because this is my 200K account. I took a bigger lot size. I don't know why I only locked in 820. It should be double. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, it kind of threw me off, because everything here, like my 100K accounts made more profit than my regular one. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, I don't know. The lot size looks fine. I'm looking at my MT4. It's at 200 lots. That's weird. So for whatever reason, all my other profits, they all made about the same amount, even though, yeah, even my 100K account made. That's weird. My 200K made less profit than, I took 200 lots on my first account, and then I made a certain amount, and then the other one I made more, which I don't know. It's kind of really weird. These are 100K accounts right here. I made 910, and this is my 200K account. So I took 100 lot here, unless it's just really lagging. It closed me out super late, and that's probably what happened. Price spiked up, and it gave me like double TP. But yeah, this was 100 lot, and this was 200 lot. This made the least amount of profit across basically all my accounts. All right. Well, that's good to know, because now I'm going to be a little careful with my entries, because maybe the copier is kind of just lagging for today. Okay. I don't know if anybody's having issues with the copier today on social trader tools, but I think that's very unusual for my accounts to come out like this, because I took half a lot size on this. This should have been like 1600, and these should have been, well, I mean, if that was the case, or these should have been half. So this was 800. These should have been like maybe 400, but it's okay. I'm not going to complain about making more profit. Let's see, Daniel said took that second high-low V2 for 10, blasted right through. Good thing it reached 10 because right after it reversed. Yeah, so it looks like Daniel over here actually took the high-low scalp V2. He only took it for 100 pips, so he got in, it went straight to TP, and then he pulled out. So nice work right there, Daniel, on holding that. I'm not in this position, guys, right here. As I mentioned earlier, this entry came up too quickly. It just happened too quickly. How price like broke right there, pulled back, and then it came back up for entry. But it happened just way too quickly where I didn't want to enter because there's not enough time in between. This entry right here literally hit TP right there, and then the entry came up immediately again right after. So you just got to be smart about your positions, guys. Like, of course it's an official entry, but or it's like an actual entry, but you got to understand like when not to take a trade, even though it's an official entry. If all the criteria lines up, you have to understand like, okay, this trade lined up with this one, it was still running, they basically overlapped. It's probably best to hold off and just wait for the next one to come up. So the trade's still running right now in profit. I don't know if anybody's in the position. I'm not in the position right now. I don't plan on taking it. I'll just continue watching it here. Here's the clean chart. You can see price is starting to break structure right there. I'm going to be a lot safer today, guys, because today is Monday and I don't want to take anything too risky. Yeah, the trade is running in profit right there. If this here closes with a buy signal, this will technically be the intraday scalp on open. So if you guys are looking to take that entry again, ATR is currently 21. So if this here closes with a buy signal, this will technically be an entry for an intraday scalp. It's got to close with the buy signal though. So it didn't close with the buy signal. There's no entry there for the intraday scalp. The high-low scalp V2 is still running right now. All right, I'm gonna start marking up the levels now because we're getting closer to 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up levels. $90, $80, $70, $60, $50, $40, $30. There's a lot of levels here. So with all these levels right here, shows that there's an increase in volatility. If you guys compare this, how the chart looked on Friday, there weren't that many levels and they're pretty spread out. All right, so we got the levels here marked up. Still no entry here. We're looking for a buy signal. So once we get a buy signal here, we can start looking for a possible entry for the momentum pullback scalp. But at the moment right now, we just don't have that momentum pullback scalp right there. Randy's asking, wasn't the 631 the intraday? No, it wasn't. Did you just join in, Randy? Because we covered that. We were identifying that as the intraday, but the candle's too big. If you look at the criteria over here for the intraday scalp requirements, it says if momentum candle is over 300 pips, skip to the next entry. So that's what happened there. If you measure that candle right there, that candle was 400 pips. So missed criteria right there. So that wasn't the intraday scalp. So we're just looking for the next one. Yeah, no problem. I know we looked at that one. I said if that one closed, it'd probably be the intraday scalp. Then it just spiked up super heavily. And I was like, okay, it's not going to be an entry because candle's too big. So we're just waiting for the next buy signal. It is getting later into the session, so it's not necessarily going to be, I might have to have a cutoff on that strategy because the strategy seems like it works fine as long as it comes up early enough. But I mean, we'll see. Again, that's just a strategy that's being tested. It's not one of the official entries. The official entries right here are going to be the momentum pullback scalp, this one right here, and then obviously the high-low scalp V2. The volatility here is not very high. You guys can see that it's not really getting close enough to reaching its TP. So I think we might have to make some adjustments to the TP stop loss for the high-low scalp V2, at least for now, because the volatility is just not there. You guys can see ATR is currently at 20. And again, if you were in this position, you'll still be holding on to it. And it's been running for, it's getting close to that 10-minute mark. So I'm not in any of these positions right here. I didn't take this one. I probably should have taken this one for a small entry right here if, when price came back for that retest. But I didn't. I'm just not, I already got FOMO on the first move. I'm going to be a little more careful now because I don't want to end up stuck in a position that I shouldn't be in. So yeah, whenever you guys get FOMO with the position, you just have to take a step back. So that's why I didn't decide to take this one right away, because the first entry that we took here, so the first entry that I made profit on this one right here, I followed into this move. So I know I messed up and I took this trade off FOMO. So now I'm just going to wait. I'll wait for my trade psychology to reset and then wait for the next entry to come up. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever you guys feel like you're over trading, if you feel like you're going to FOMO, if you into a random trade, it's best to just step away. If you need to step away from your computer, go take a walk real quick, go do something on the side. I'd highly recommend it, because if you guys trade off FOMO, you're going to keep making more and more bad decisions. And I'm sure that's happened to a lot of you guys before, right? You guys take one trade, you get lucky on it, then you get FOMO on the next one, you get FOMO on the next one. And then all of a sudden you get into this crazy losing streak and you don't know how to stop. So yeah, if you ever take a trade and you know that trade was not a trade that you should have taken, I definitely recommend you take a step back and just reset. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm not in any positions. I'm waiting for the market to stabilize a little bit and waiting for my trade psychology to reset. So the high-low scalp V2 is still technically running right now, guys. I'm not in this position, but it's still running right now. There's no other positions here at the moment. In order for us to get a momentum pullback scalp, we need a buy signal. So what we're looking for right here is we're looking for a buy signal to come up, retrace, and continue. And that's where we'll be looking to take our momentum pullback scalp when we have the opportunity. But again, we need that buy signal. So until we get that buy signal, there's just no entries for us to take here at the moment. All right. There's not really too much going on. So looking over here on the clean chart, you can see that price looks like it might be coming down to, if it comes back down further, target price point is going to be opening price right here. Liquidity still hasn't gotten hit yet. So if you guys are looking for some buys here, or if buys do come up, target price point will be obviously liquidity up there. If price continues to climb down, target price is liquidity down there. So it's liquidity on both sides. All right, so it looks like this over here did not play through. I'm glad we didn't take the position because it obviously didn't play through. I'm going to take note of it. I'm putting it in our spreadsheet just so that we understand. So this trade came up at 650. So I'm adding it to our spreadsheet over here. This was for a buy, was a loss, negative 300. For the notes, I'm going to put entry overlap with previous active position. Trade ran for more than 10 minutes. Not much correction for volatility. All right, so I'm documenting these trades here so that we know, or we have an idea for like in the future, okay, if price overlaps, obviously we should not take that trade, right? So this trade over here overlapped with the previous one, the one that happened before it. and it's probably a good decision to skip it because I kind of anticipated something like this was going to happen. So, all right. Other than that, there's still technically one that is currently let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 5 candles have passed, so this is no longer useful. That's gonna be the new level right there. All right, so I think the only entry that hasn't come up today for open would be the intraday scalp. So we're still looking for the intraday scalp to come up. Other than that, we're looking for one of our actual high-low scalps, because it looks like the market has stabilized a little bit. I mean, not very much, but it has stabilized a little bit to the very least. The reason why I say that is because price is still spiking back and forth. So you can see over here that price is pretty much in a range, but it looks like it's starting to kind of stabilize down here a little bit. You know, it might just range right here for a bit, consolidate. And if that's the case, that's completely fine. So, all right. As of now, we're just going to wait for some better confirmation. So here's the actual structure right here. Okay. So we'll see here if the trend shifts. If the trend shifts, that's completely fine. We'll start looking for some sells. If not, then we'll look for a correction back to the upside. Right now, the trend is still bullish. So let's take a look at CNBC real quick. Let's just see if there's anything new for us to look at. The sentiment here is starting to shift. So you can see over here, it's currently 58% short. So we're going to consider it now somewhat bullish. So we'll put bullish neutral because it's getting closer to that 60% mark. We want it to be above 65%, but as it gets closer to 60, it's going to be more of a bullish side. So the sentiment here is still pretty much bullish, as you guys can see. So if anything, there might be a correction. Price might come down slightly, and then eventually it'll swing right back up. So that's going to be something to look out for if you guys are looking to take, you know, any of these positions here. I was looking at the higher time frames over here too for any possible entries. I'll take a look at that later. A lot of these entries here take a long time for them to set up. So I got these set up over here for the 1 hour on YM and also NASDAQ. But there just hasn't been anything here. Price broke above and comes back down here for NASDAQ. So if you guys are looking to trade NASDAQ, using the same strategy over here on the 1 hour, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the criteria is a little more lax because it's the 1 hour. It takes forever for it to actually fill. It takes forever for it to actually set up. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple minutes. Currently 7:05 right now. Fed Harkin's going to speak over here at 7:30. Let me check the calendar again real quick to see if there's anything else going on today. So we have Fed Harker speaking at 7:30. We have 3-month bill auction at 8:30, 6-month bill auction, notebook crush report at 9. We have Fed Williams tomorrow. So I believe this is Fed week, right? It's the 3rd week of October. Yeah, we have a Fed member speaking pretty much every day. Fed Harker, Fed Barr, Fed Bostic, Fed Logan. Basically, all the Fed members are going to be speaking this week. It's Fed week. I mean, we'll try to use that as our advantage with, you know, the increased volatility. There's jobless claims over here on Thursday, existing home sales. Wednesday over here, we have high impact news, building permits, oil news. Tomorrow we have high impact news. We have retail sales, autos, retail sales month over month, year over year. So we got a lot of, just a lot of economic data. And the Fed's going to be speaking pretty much every day today. We have Fed Harker speaking all day today, pretty much. We have Fed Barkin speaking tomorrow, Fed Williams, Fed Bowman. Yeah, it's Fed week. All right, so we'll see. Akash said YM orders are not getting filled in Tradeovate. Anyone else facing this? Orders are getting suspended. I think you might be on the wrong symbol, Akash, because I don't know when's the last time you traded YM, but you're probably on YM. It's on YMZ right now. So you're probably on the last contract from like last month. It switches over by season or by quarter. So if you're on YM, I think you're probably on the wrong YM. We're currently on YMZ right now. You're probably on YMU. YMU is from September. We're currently in October now, so it's at YMZ from October till December. This one expired in September, so I'm assuming you haven't traded since September on that account. You just got to roll over to the next contract. Usually, when you log into Tradeovate, it should give you a warning. So if you log into Tradeovate, it'll probably give you a warning, say, hey, this contract is no longer working. There's no volatility on this contract. You have to roll over to the next month. So that should be one way to fix it. I think that should be it. I don't think there's any other issues. Or maybe there is issues. I don't know. CSUK said Tradeovate issues currently as well. So CSUK also has issues. That might be the case. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're trading, Akash. If you're trading on Apex, so Maddie said that Tradeovate is having issues on Apex. So it's on the Apex website. I don't know if you're on Top Step or Apex, but seems like Apex is having issues today specifically. Is anybody having issues with Top Step? There's a couple people here who I know who are using Top Step. I think Andrew. Gotcha. Yeah, Akash is on Apex. It looks like it might be an Apex issue. Just Apex. Yeah, so Andrew's fine. Andrew's on Top Step. Looks like it's an Apex issue, guys. So looks like Tradeovate as a whole is still working fine. It's just Apex is having issues right now. So yeah, it's just Apex, Akash. I'd probably just reach out to their support and see. But if you want to talk to anybody in the group, CSUK and Maddie use Apex. They both are having issues as well. So that might be the case. All right, so we're looking for the trend over here to shift, guys. If you guys can see this red pivot, we're looking for the red pivot over here to cross over this orange pivot. So we're looking for this level 4 pivot over here to cross over. Once it crosses over, we'll have a confirmation of a bearish trend. Once we have that bearish trend, we can start looking for sells. Looking over here, we're looking at the same thing. There's no confirmation of trend yet. So this level over here, unfortunately, might be a bit useless for us. I don't think we're gonna be able to use it. However, if it does come back down, and we do have the confirmation over here, then this will be an entry for high-low scalping too. There's no trend yet, guys, so you can't take the sell here. I know some of you guys might be looking to take the sell here, but there's no entry yet because there's no confirmation of trend. We need the trend to really confirm first before we can take any entries in that direction. So unfortunately, this right here is not going to be an entry, guys. We'll have to move on to the next level, which would be this one down here. Yeah, there's no confirmation of a trend change yet. Once we have that confirmation of a trend change, we can start looking for any possibilities down below. But right now, there's just nothing for us to work with. All right, let's mark that money structure down here. So here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, there's not really much of a direction. Price is back to opening price right here. It looks like just faked out a bunch up here. And it came back down. And then as it came down over here, faked out around this area and it came back to opening price. So yeah, there's just nothing on. There's no direction right now, is what I'm trying to say. So price might be correcting back up. If it corrects back up, and that's completely fine. We'll continue looking for another buy, which can easily shift. So as you can see over here, as price comes back up, which it is coming back up. And this is what we were expecting anyways, because the overall bias for today is bullish. Retail sentiment is bullish. Everything's pretty much bullish. So we are definitely looking for this to swing back up. Let's take a look at the technicals. Everything here still, I mean, for the most part, everything is bullish except for the 1 minute. The 1 minute starting to shift back up. It was bearish for like a few minutes, and then now it's shifting back up. So yeah, we'll see. All right, price is pushing back up. It looks like we're getting the correction back to the upside, which is completely fine. That's exactly what I personally wanted. We just need the trend here to confirm. The trend here hasn't confirmed yet. So even if price breaks past this level right here, we can't take any entries. So you guys can see the pivots right here. They're just starting to flatten out a bit. So as they start to flatten out, we'll just have to wait for the confirmation of the trend. All right, so we got a buy signal over here. So we got a buy signal for the momentum pullback scalp. Again, we need the confirmation of trend first. Once we get the confirmation of trend right here, we'll look for price to push up higher, higher, higher. And once we get that, we'll look for entries at one of these points here. But we need the confirmation of trend first. Once the confirmation of trend closes out, then we can start looking for some buys. So we need the trend here, then we'll look for some buys here for the momentum pullback scalp. And then again, over here, once we get the confirmation of trend, we'll look for some buys here for the high-low scalp V2. So we'll be looking for entries. On both sides over here. Let's see, Daniel just said that the high-low scalp, momentum scalp just hit TP. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody looked to take the high-low momentum scalp, but like what Daniel said, it just hit right here. There's a lower low, buy signal over here, broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And that was an entry right there for a high-low scalp, high-low momentum scalp. It's not one of my favorite strategies, so I don't typically take it, but it looks like a couple of you guys here took it. Looking at the Zoom, Daniel caught it, Natasha took it. Nice work, guys. Yeah, I like this strategy when the market's kind of ranging, which the market is kind of ranging today. It's not really going very directional, as you guys can see. It's kind of just going back and forth. Price kind of pushed up, came back to open price right here, the blue line, came back right here, faked out, came back up, and now it's just correcting back to the upside. So that's what I'm kind of looking for here at the moment. I'm just waiting for price to continue up and just climb higher. So once we get that, we can start looking for some buys. But yeah, there was a high-low momentum scalp there. I didn't take the position. I like taking that strategy during slow periods. I guess today's kind of considered a slow period, but you know, just in case volatility does pick up, I probably wouldn't want to mess with it. Let's see. Saya Green over here said, love the walkthrough, analysis, and explanation on what you're thinking. Keep it up, bro. Yeah, thanks. No, definitely. You know, I try to make things as simple as possible. I try to simplify everything so that you guys understand like what's going on. You know, I always get people who come into the group and they like are just amazed at how stuff is broken down, because a lot of people who trade, a lot of people have their own strategies and they're not good at explaining it. They're just good at looking at it on the chart and then taking the entry. But I like explaining it because it kind of helps me understand too. So the more that I explain and the more details I go into, it helps me kind of see things from a different perspective. So I like explaining it, and I'm glad that you guys are taking advantage of that as well. It's just helpful on both sides, right? It's helpful for me. It's helpful for you guys. It's just helpful for everyone. So yeah, we're still looking for the entry here, guys. So like looking at the pivots have now shifted. So now that the pivots have shifted, we can technically look for a buy over here for a momentum pullback scalp. So if you guys are looking to take the entry, there would be a momentum pullback scalp at this level right here, which is going to be the 70. So we currently have a bullish trend right here. All pivots are above the red pivot. We currently have a buy signal, price pushed up. So we're looking for price to push up, retrace, and continue up higher. So if you guys are looking to take an entry, there is going to be an entry right here for a momentum pullback scalp. If price pushes up higher, it's going to reset, and then we're going to look for another pullback to happen. So we'll see if this candle here closes above this area. If it closes green and it continues to push up higher, like say above this black line right here at the 80 mark, then we'll look for another pullback after that. And this right here will be setting up for a high-low scalp V2 as well. You know, the volume's kind of low, guys, so I'd probably go for a 25-25 instead of a 30-30. The volume is just kind of low right now. ATR is currently at 19. All right, so there's no entry there yet. We're looking for price to pull back now. So price pushed up, we're looking for the pullback. Once it pulls back to another, so we're looking for red candle basically. We have price pushing up higher. We're just looking for a red candle to come up. Once the red candle comes up, the entry will come back to that closest level. So if we get a red candle right here, entry will happen at the 80 mark, and then if price pushes up higher, it'll happen at the 90 mark. You know, whatever is the closest level for you guys to look at. The criteria is right here if you guys want to look at the requirements, and then we'll see what happens, you know, when it happens. Looking over here, we currently need a fake out. So we have price breaking past structure right here. We need price to pull back and then come back up. And that's where we'll make our entry. So we just gotta wait. There's gonna be about, okay, so this is the first candle right here. We have about 5 candles to confirm. So we'll come back to that slightly when we have opportunity to come back to it. Right here is the momentum pullback scalp if anybody's looking to take it. The volatility is decent. It's not great, but it is decent right now. So if anybody's looking to take the entry here for the you know, momentum pullback scalp, then I'll let you know where the entry's at. All right, so we have a red candle right here. If this candle closes above this black line right here, the entry is going to be at the 80 mark like we looked at earlier. Got about 10 seconds left on this candle. It's dropping kind of heavy, so like depending on where it closes at, entry might happen right here at the 80, or it might happen, yeah, I think the entry would happen right there at the 80. So if price pulls down to that area, that's where the entry is going to be for the momentum pullback scalp. I only have time to put a pending order here. I wanted to put a pending order, but it's just moving a little fast. I'm just gonna have to watch it. Let's see where it's at. All right, so it hasn't filled yet, guys. Unfortunately, it didn't pull back. What we were looking for here is we were looking for price to pull up, retrace down, and fill right there, but unfortunately did not fill. And pushed right up too. I'm just going back between the two over here because we have this over here that's still setting up as well. So we have 1, 2, 3. If this doesn't pull back within the next 2 candles, then there's not going to be an entry here for the high-low scalp V2. We'll have to wait for the next level to get broken. All right, so this never got filled, guys. There's no entry here for the momentum pullback scalp. Again, you're going to have to look for another red candle. From that red candle, you're going to look for possible entry. So we got another red candle right here. If that's the case, level's going to be, entry is going to be at the same level again right there. Same thing. Depending on where it closes, if it closes above this black line, then entry is going to be at the 90. If it closes below, it's going to be at the 80. But again, we'll have to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it isn't closed below here in the next 2 minutes, then there's not going to be a fake out, and there's not going to be any entry here for the high-low scalp V2. So either this candle here or the next one has to break and close below this blue line for the fake out. So it looks like there might be another opportunity here for high-low scalp or a momentum pullback scalp as well. Same level at the 80 mark. Yeah, so same level right there. I'm still looking at this right now to see if this can provide opportunity here. So the momentum pullback scalp looks like it got filled. It's currently running in profit. Watching on my end over here as it pushes up higher. I gotta close out manually. Unfortunately, I had to close out manually, guys, because it was just moving too fast. It hit my TP, but it didn't close me out. I think the spread's a little wider right now. So if anybody took this with me right here, took it at the same entry point, the 80 mark, never filled right here, pushed back up, pulled back down right there. Same pattern that we were looking for. We had price push up, pulled back to the level, filled, and went straight to TP. I had to pull out manually because it just happened too quickly. So there goes the entry right there. Thanks, Natasha. And Natasha said, Sean explains pretty good. I can often take trades without looking at the charts. Yeah, a lot of times right here, Natasha, she's at work right now. So she's trading off her phone, just listening to me and analyze the charts. And then she enters whenever I enter. When I say pull out, she pulls out. She's good at following directions. So she's been doing pretty good. So nice work right there, Natasha. Here goes the first entry for the day, the first official entry, which is the momentum pullback scalp. The high-low scalp V2 unfortunately did not fill through. So there's no entry here for the high-low scalp V2. We're going to reset this. Next level is going to be right there. All right, so there goes our first full TP, first official entry for the day. I'll go and put this up over here real quick. Entry happened at 7:22. This was the momentum pullback scalp for 100 pips. Not a big move, but it's the first move that we took today. So first official trade for this week, and my full TP right there. I had to pull out for basically full TP, but it's all good. So today is the 16th. Entry happened at 7. I'm just gonna round 7:21. Buy win 100 pips, full TP right there. So there we go. Took the trade right there. I'll take a screenshot of my accounts again right here. But yeah, it just happened too quickly. I mean, if you didn't close out manually, it still would have shot to your TP, but I closed out manually. I gotta, I'm smart about my positions. Like when I'm taking a position and I know it's like it hit TP, I gotta pull out manually. I'm not gonna take the risk of holding on to it longer than I should. And I feel like that's a problem with a lot of people. A lot of people think that they have too much pride, right? And the ego is too big. Where if the position hits TP on TradingView, you got to pull out, guys. You guys can't just wait for it to continue pushing. Sometimes it'll happen. Like for example, today, 2 of the entries blasted right through a TP. But if it hits TP on TradingView, you got to pull out because you don't know if this is going to shoot right through or if it's going to hit your TP and then come right back down. So you just got to be smart about it. Just don't get greedy. I feel like greed is the biggest factor for a lot of people. They just get greedy once they because they want that last pip. Like say you're missing like a few pips just to get your TP. And the thing is the brokers know that. So if you're using an unregulated broker, a lot of them kind of just, they make the spread super wide at the last second so that you can't pull out of the position. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened with me there. So looking over here, here are my updated profits. So here's my first account. I'm up 1,050 on my funded engineer. Here is my FTMO number 2 account locked in, or my first FTMO account locked in 1,220, second FTMO 1,220, my third FTMO 1,170, my 200K account 1,740, my second funded engineer account total profit of 540, my personal account locked in 360, my TFF locked in 1,232, and my second TFF locked in 1,032 as well. So all wins for the day. Pretty solid. We're just waiting for another opportunity here to come up, but with this low volatility, I mean, we'll see. The ATR is currently at 17. If it goes down below 15, then we can't even take any more momentum pullback scalps. So, I mean, we're looking at the volatility here. Surprisingly, the volatility is extremely low for October. I was expecting it to kind of linger into October, but not this late into October. I thought it'd pick up by now because last week was pretty volatile, but it seems like a lot of people this week are probably just waiting for the Fed to speak. So yeah, other than that, let's take a look at everybody else's profits. We have Andreas over here, total profit of 720 for the day, all wins. He took the entry as well, pulled out same time as me. So nice work right there, Andreas, taking the momentum pullback scalp with me. So we got Andreas right there. We have Natasha, total profit of 637 for the day, all wins. Nice for Natasha. So Natasha's like a prime example of like knowing how to follow directions, right? She doesn't look at any charts. She's just on a Zoom with her earphones on, listening to me speak. And when I say I'm entering position, she enters and then she pulls out when she needs to pull out. So nice work right there, Natasha. Total profit of 637 for the day. Other than that, that's about it for now. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for any possible entries here. All right, so we have another break in structure right here. We're going to work off this level right here. So we got price break above it. We need price to fake out down below, and then we'll see what happens, you know, as price continues to move along. Let's see. Gary's asking, Sean, how do you trade FTMO through TV? You can't. I trade off MT4. It's the same way we've been trading for like years now. It's the same thing we've been doing. We do our analysis on TradingView because we use YM data. We use the real data here to analyze and identify our entries. And then I have a second screen here where I enter off MT4. So nothing's changed. I'm still doing the same thing for how I have been trading for like, you know, the past 4 years now. So there's ways to do it. So there's a bridge program that you can use for TradingView to FTMO, but I don't recommend it, especially if you're scalping, because there's always going to be a lag in between. Sometimes your trade might not fill, it might not execute. So I wouldn't recommend using the bridge program unless it's like a native program on TradingView. It's probably okay for like intraday trading and swing trading, but not for scalping because it happens too quickly. Yeah, no problem, Gary. Yeah, exactly. It's I'm still doing the same thing through MT4. I'm using my copier. That's why I have all these accounts here, because I have 9 accounts on my copier. I have 2 funded engineer accounts, 4 FTMOs, 1 personal, 2 TFFs. They all copy across my main account, which is my 200K FTMO. Saya Green's asking, on a 10K account, what lot should you be using at for US30? So if you want to use the same risk as me, I'm risking about like 1.5 to 2%, probably like around 1.5. So I'm using let me see, you're on a 10K account. It's kind of hard to do the math on like, because I'm using a 200 lot. So a 200 lot divided by, actually, I'll just do the math. So I'm typically risking about like, let me see. So I'm using a 200,000 lot of account times 2. I'm risking about like 2.5. Let me see. So 5,000 divided by 200. Yes, I'm using a 2.5% risk. So if you were to risk, you're on a $10,000 account times, you want to risk 250. Let me see if I can put it into my calculator real quick. You probably want to use a 10 lot, Saya. So if you use a 10 lot, you'll be risking 2.5%. 10 lots of max you should be using. You probably want to use something below that unless you're like very confident. So yeah, on a 10K account, you want to use about a 10 lot on the FTMO. That's FTMO. So make sure you're on FTMO. Every broker is kind of different. So you want to make sure that you're clear about which broker you're using. But yeah, your biggest lot size should be about like a 10 lot. Anything below that's fine, but 10 lots max. Okay, so this level over here never got, the fake out never happened, guys. So we're not using this level over here for the high-low scalp V2. We're now looking at this next level right here. It looks like liquidity here got hit. So you guys can see over here, I marked up the setup here. If you guys took liquidity, it came up and it did exactly what we were anticipating. It climbed up, hit the level here a little earlier, but it did hit full TP on the liquidity push right here. So if anybody took liquidity push, full TP, looks like pretty much majority of the entries have hit for today. Liquidity hit full TP. There's no entry here for a high-low scalp V2 yet. So let me see. We have the candle broke right here. You can see 1, 2, 3. If it doesn't come back down in the next 2 candles, there's no opportunity for entry here for the high-low scalp V2. Yeah, no problem, Messiah. I know it's kind of tricky to calculate lot size, so I usually just base it off like what I'm using, and I just do the percentage there, the math. If you're taking high quality trades, you can take a bigger risk. Like for example, here I'm looking for like 1 or 2 quality trades a day, and that's pretty much it. If I lose both of those trades, I'm still like within my parameters, right? Because I'm only risking like 2 to 2.5%. I never go past the 5% that's allotted for the day. So for me, since I'm looking for 1 or 2 good trades, I can take that much risk. If you're taking more trades, obviously you want to lower your risk, but it's just, it just depends. Let's see. Daniel said top liquidity blasted. I'm good for the day. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Daniel. It's 7:33 right now, guys. So it is getting closer to 8. So if you guys are happy with your profits for the day, I would just wrap it up too. Nathan over here hit his profit. Maddie said he's logging off. Apex is having issues, so he'll just trade tomorrow. Yeah, it's all good, Maddie. CSUK as well. Yeah, it's all good. If you guys are using Apex and you guys are having issues, I would probably sit out of the market. There's no need to force any trades. Like, I try to warn you guys this every single day. It's early in the week. It's Monday. So we have a whole week ahead of us. If you guys haven't taken any trades and you guys are just not feeling it today, then that's completely fine. Just don't trade for the day. You guys are free to like look at the analysis, listen to the analysis, kind of just soak up all the info. But for the most part, how the way that price is moving right here, I don't think it's really stable, because you can see the ATR is currently at 20 right now. Price was kind of going sideways for a little bit, had this big stride to the upside. And the thing that you want to keep in mind is that the Fed is now speaking. So the Fed started speaking right here at 7:30. So you might want to be a little careful with taking the entries. I don't know what Harkin's saying right now, because we're not watching his live stream. But yeah, Fed Harker. So Fed Harker is currently speaking right now. He started speaking at 7:30. You guys can see how market reacted to it. It started spiking up. I'm not expecting the Fed news to be good. So just keep that in mind. There's probably going to be a lot of manipulation from now until 8 o'clock, because Fed Harkin is going to be talking about the inflation rate, right? So inflation and interest rates are going up, of course, as you guys know. They have to raise interest rates by this month or next month. I don't think they're going to increase it for December, because it's Christmas time. They don't want to do that to people when people are trying to buy gifts and stuff for like their family and whatnot. So they're probably not going to increase interest rates by December. Market gets slow around December. So I'm not expecting the news here to be good. So, we'll see. I think this push up right here might be some manipulation just until the Fed starts speaking, and then price might come right back down. And that's just my take on it. It doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm saying is actually going to happen. But I think, from our data here and from what we've been following, the Fed did say that they're going to increase interest rates by the end of the year. There's only 2 months for them to do that, right? October and November. They're not going to increase it in December. It's going to happen in October, November. So we're in October. I'm pretty sure they're going to increase it. So just be careful. If you guys are starting to chase this, I think what you want to look at is sentiment. So if sentiment here starts to increase, I think price will continue climbing up. They probably won't increase interest rates this month, and they'll probably do it next month. And that's going to, that's just going to buy them some time. So yeah, the volatility here is very low now. You guys can see it's kind of dying down a bit. Let's see where this is at. So we have a level up here. And just a heads up, guys, I'm not going to be having a mentoring session today. I just realized there's nothing for us to cover. We've pretty much been covering the same thing for like the past couple weeks, past month now. So there's nothing really new to cover. If you guys want to review the high-low scalp V2, feel free to review the previous mentoring session from last week. There's just no need for me to hop on. Unless you guys really want me to get on, just let me know. But for the most part, I think there's just not very much for us to cover with regard to strategies, because we haven't really brought anything new onto the table. Everything here is pretty much the same thing. There's only two official strategies: the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So there's not really too much to cover. And the thing is, I document every trade. So guys, if you guys are curious to see how these strategies are working, just go to the Discord, go to Trading Journal right here. 2023 official live trades are going to be my trades that I've taken. So if you want to review any of the trades that I took, you'll click on this link right here. It'll take you to my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet has every trade I took from January up until October. So every trade I've taken this year has been documented with the markups. Also, if you guys want to see how the other strategies are doing, so for example, if you want to see how the breakout V2 is doing, the spreadsheet's there. If you want to look at the momentum counter scalp, it's there. Intraday scalp, high-low scalp V2, and the high-low momentum scalp on open. I need to rename this. Actually, it's fine. I'll rename it later. But this right here, we're not really using it anymore. So I put this at the bottom. So I just didn't like the one-to-one on that one. The original TP stop loss is better. So if you want to keep using that strategy, you can use it, but I recommend using a 10-30 split or 25-50 if the volatility picks up. All right, Natasha, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Marcin, we'll see you back here tomorrow as well. Looks like the majority of you guys here are logging off for the day. As you guys can see, there's not really much going on here in the market as price continues to go sideways. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, if the market doesn't pick up in, say, the next 10 minutes or so, if the market doesn't pick up by like 7:40, 7:45, then we're just going to wrap it up, because you can see right here, there's nothing going on. Price is literally just going sideways and each candle is super small. So instead of us trying to force a trade from now until 8, I think it's better to just wrap it up for the day, right? We have 2 good trades that came up today, depending on which strategy you guys decided to apply. And we have some pretty good profits for the day so far. Looking over here at team profits, we have more profits here from Nathan. Nathan logged in a total profit of 1,130 for the day, all wins. That's right there, Nathan. Nathan right here took the, looks like he took 2 buys. So he traded in the direction of the bias. You can see everybody's trades over here. Everyone took buys. And basically, if you even made a mistake here, so for example, if you took any trade here for a buy, you made a mistake, the trade would eventually hit your TP, right? So that's why you want to trade in the direction of the bias. Nathan over here took 2 buys, two full TPs right there, total profit of 1,130. We have Madhu over here. He did the same exact thing, 2 full TPs right there with nice green strips, total profit of 2,933, all wins. So as you guys can see, he took 2 buys here. If you guys can follow the bias, if you have a strong bias like this right here, retail sentiment's bullish, fundamentals is bullish, short-term, long-term is bullish. If you can find that and you just take buys, I'm not saying to take any random trades, but if you can take the trade there and it falls within your criteria, it's almost inevitable that your trade's going to hit, even if you make a mistake. So nice work right there, Madhu. Total profit of approximately 3,000 for the day. Maddie over here, no trades. Obviously, Maddie's Apex is not working, so he wasn't able to take any trades for the day. So if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. As you guys can see, there's still nothing going on here. Price is just going sideways. What I'm going to do meanwhile is I'm going to take individual screenshots of my profits. So I'll sit around for any questions, but if there's no questions, we're going to wrap this up. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat, guys. If there's no questions, I'll just continue taking a screenshot of my profits for the day. And then we'll wrap this up in a few. All right, there's my fund engineer. I know a lot of people tell me that I don't need to take individual screenshots of my accounts, but I don't know. Personally, I like doing it because it gives me a sense of accomplishment. And you guys will see right now, because I do have my copier that I take a screenshot of. So you already see what all my profits are, but I like seeing the blue screen, especially when it's an all winning day. it just brings up morale, especially on on a crazy day like this. So if you guys like to take individual screenshots too, and you guys are also using a copier, don't feel bad about it. I know it's time consuming, but it pretty much reminds you that you followed your game plan for the day and game plan playthrough. Oh. Let me post some of my individual profits, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. Let me see if there's any other questions here. I think that's about it. All right, so here are all of my profits for the day. Let me go and just send this over real quick. All right, so here's my first funded engineer account locked in 1,050. That's my first account by engineer one. Here is my first FTMO locked in 1,220, all wins. Here is my second FTMO locked in 1,220 as well, all wins there. Here is my third FTMO locked in 1,170. Here is my 200K count locked in 1,740, all wins as well. Here is my second funded engineer account locked in 540, all wins right there. Here is my TFF locked in 1,232, all wins there. And my second TFF total profit of 1,232 as well, all wins. So those are all the profits across all my accounts. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. I don't see anything else here for us to really look at. Everything's kind of, you guys can see, I drew these arrows here like about 5 to 10 minutes ago, and it's still going sideways. There's nothing for us to take here. So, all right, guys, if you guys don't have to trade, which I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys don't, there's no timeline, there's no time limit for any funding companies anymore. So you don't need to force any trades. So I'd recommend, if you guys don't have to, don't trade for the rest of the day. The Fed's going to be speaking for the rest of the day. He's also going to be speaking again later. So we have Fed Harker speaking right now. He's going to speak again. It's not really a good time to trade, especially when the market's going sideways like this. So what I recommend is just wrap it up for the day, guys. Come back fresh tomorrow, and then we'll run it back again and repeat the same. Run at the beach. Yeah, no trades yet. Leave your phone in your car or in your house or wherever you're going to leave it, and go on with your day. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Just another reminder, there's not going to be a mentoring session for today. If you guys want me to have one, just let me know and we'll schedule one for this week. But for the most part, I think we've covered everything necessary for you guys to be prepared for this trading week. So, all right, guys, other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session.